In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright, of that I am sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright, of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.
Oops. Good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. What the fuck? Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. What the hell was I thinking? Doesn't matter. How are you all? Ah, Okay. How are you all doing tonight? And welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here to discuss whether or not Diddy's a drug dealer. What do you guys think? Let's take a quick poll right now. Let's take a quick poll for whoever's on. Do you think he is also a drug dealer? Now, here's the caveat to that question. Most times we think of a drug dealer as an exchange of drugs for money. What if he's a drug dealer in exchange for people being inebriated at his parties? Like, is that still considered a drug dealer? I don't know what the definition of a drug dealer is, but what if the definition is a little askew when it comes to Diddy? And the reason why I say that is because he never got prescriptions in his own name, and yet the prescriptions belong to him. So there's always like, where's his cancer? There's always a sideways thing going on with him. Let me check his chart. Like, he's not a straightforward guy. It's always like sideways and then straightforward, which is what, and I'm not talking about cancers, but crabs walk sideways. So you always have to wonder if a cancer type person is being straightforward. Now, much like Wendy Williams would say, I'm a straight shooter, but she wasn't, because she knew her husband was having an affair for 10 years. So I'm not talking about cancers, but let me tell you, I grew up in a house full of cancers, and that meant I grew up in a house full of liars. I'm not talking about cancers, though. I can only tell you my experience, and that was hell, because nobody knew how to tell the truth ever. And that was weird. That was so, let me see something. That's mute. It is on, but I don't see this green light on. Trying to get my mic to work. It hasn't been working. And so that's why you guys haven't seen me using my mic. I don't know. Let's do this. Let's go back. Let me see. Camera. And I'm also taking some ashwagandha tea because my adrenals are fried. I've had some personal trauma that my tarot cards did tell me I was going to go through this. They did. And I just was like, oh, that's so silly. I haven't gone through a tarot moment in my life like since forever, right? Because I really am careful as to what trauma I give myself or walk myself into. Why is that not on? Now it's better. So, and watching this Diddy trial doesn't help with my trauma. Like, it did not that my trauma has been sexual abuse, because that's what this whole Diddy trial is about. Um, to me, it's all about sexual abuse and about Cassie getting her ass beat. Oh my God. Can anybody figure out how can Cassie still be alive? Like, I think Capricorn Clock stated that she watched Diddy beat her for 50 minutes. Not 15, which I can't even imagine 15. 50. She was such a skinny girl. I'm grateful for all these testimonies because half the times we never saw bruising on her body. And so, without all the extra testimony, especially the men out there, I don't know how much Cassie would be believed. But I do have to tell you, there's a lot of traumatic women that are supporting the theory that they don't believe in Cassie. And I have concerns that all those that, like Tokyo Tony, she's one of them, right? But we know Tokyo Tony has been abused. She looks like it. Like, I don't need to do a psychic reading on it. And the way she treats her daughter like she too was abused. Probably abused by a mama, probably abused by a daddy, her personal, her dad, Tokyo Tony's dad, and probably abused and maybe even prostituted by most of her men that she dated. So when she says, as many women out there have said, Cassie, did it for the exchange of services. No, that's you, Tokyo. That's what you do. That's what you consciously did. And that's why you don't believe in Cassie. It would have been much better if you would have said something like, and I'm not telling you what to say, but I know when women have been traumatized, Tokyo Tony. But it would have been much better if you had said something like, I'm not telling you what to say, but I could hear you better if you would have said, I've been there. I've been abused. And I know how hard it is to lose your abuser. I mean, I'm pretty sure, Tokyo, that the only way you got away from your abuser is by threatening them or pointing a pow pow at them and letting them know, I swear to God, I will use it. Let me go. So for all those other women that follow in that same rhetoric as Tokyo Tony, whether you know what she said or not, you've been abused. You've been abused, and you don't understand that we don't need to know the facts. The fact that you're speaking out against this form of extreme abuse tells me that you've been abused. And you're at a Tokyo Tony level. You don't give a fuck. Right? There are women that have been abused, and then when somebody else comes along, they're just happy that that person's taking an abuse. They're like, child, I got it. So I don't know if I can put up with it. She can put up with it. Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is. I mean, it happens in families. I mean, my mom was completely abusive to me, and my sister refused to help. And it wasn't until years later that I figure out I was just next in line because she wouldn't beat the boys ever. One was adopted, and so she was afraid that CPS would be called. But my other brother, he did nothing. Like, why was my ass getting beat? But then I realized years later that my sister was being abused. And then she was just glad that my mom was off her. Yeah. And kind of never liked her from that point on, because if had it been in reverse, I don't know, I might have gone to jail for her. I don't think I would let my mother do that, because the whole house could hear me screaming. Yeah. So I can't imagine Cassie going through this for 50 minutes or being in the back of a car looking down the foot of a shoe or a sneaker or a boot. I don't know. Tokyo Tony been a bird. I agree. I agree. She's one of the worst women I know. And even at this stage of the game, if I did understand her story at this stage of the game, well, first of all, she's not the type to tell the truth. And she would be the type to tell a story to win something. You know what I mean? Like, to win emotions over. Like, I wouldn't believe anything she says at this point anyway. Um, I think Cassie was definitely abused, but I also think part of the reason she stayed was because of the rich, glitzy lifestyle. So I have a video here, and one of the videos said that it also might have been for the drugs. So I think when you're a drug addict, Like nothing makes sense. Like you just do things, right? I don't know. But I think that's a fair statement. And if you know the era and the power that Diddy had, and how Capricorn Clark said she was ostracized from the industry. Cassie would have been ostracized. Would it have been better to go home and be a McDonald's worker? I don't know. For me, yes. For her, I guess not. But what a price to pay, because now she's punch drunk. What's that condition that boxers have? Is it called punch drunk or is it called something else? She's punch drunk. And Cassie might be a nice girl, but she's got 3 children and 3 types of patients that she needs. Like, that husband better be a damn good husband because he's going to be taking on a lot. Cassie's a child. Yes, yes. I got that video, Tom. Yes. So let's say hi to everyone. Let me go backwards now. Hi, Melissa. How you doing, sweetie? Hi, Cherie Love. Hi, Miriam Brown. Oh, I like that red dress. Let me see it better. Oh, that's a nice red dress. Girl, look at you. Look at you. That's nice. Um, it's been hard to watch, almost sickening. It's been a lot. I thought he was a Scorpio. He's a Scorpio. I was looking for his Cancer in his chart. I want to know how prominent his Cancer is and where it falls. Like it's his Mars in Cancer. It would explain a lot. Hi, Marcella. Hi, Amina. How are you? And did you guys know that Diddy did you guys know that Diddy changed his name legally to Love? How dare you steal that name? What a weirdo. I mean, just changed it legally to Love just before he got arrested. The He changed it to Love the year the lawsuit came out with Cassie, around July or August, and the lawsuit came out in November. So that nigga knew some shit was about to go down. Let me see Diddy's birth chart. He's 55 years old. His moon is in Virgo, which is how he made his money. Virgo men can be ruthless. So his moon is in Virgo. Mars is in Capricorn. Venus is in Libra. Hmm. We don't have the time of day he was born, so I don't know his rising at this point. But no, he's got no Cancer to be found, except that his Cancer is in oh, it's got something in Leo, though. His Cancer's in his fourth house, which I think that's normal. Hmm. Let me look at one more thing. Look at somebody else's. It's the same thing. They don't have the time he was born. When did Bad Boys start? That could be a contributing factor too. When was Bad Boys birthed? His Venus and Libra go together very well for his um, dramatic lifestyle. All right. Wait, is there a midheaven in Cancer then? I don't think so. All right. I'm not going to worry about it. MC's not mentioned here. It's not in Cancer anyway. Wonder if it's why is the North Node not mentioned? North Node could be in Cancer. Hmm. All right. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Um, do you think the last baby mama be called to court? Is that Gina? Do you mean Gina? To identify potential lying aspect houses, placements, and plans related to communication, honesty, examine second house, speech and values. Sixth house, where are you? Speech and values. Sixth house, work and enemies. 12th house, deception and secrets. Oh, yeah. I took a class with, why is this like this? With charm in the feed. And so I'm understanding things a lot better. Thank you. So his moon is in Virgo. So second house, speech and values. Taurus, Jupiter, wait, Saturn is in Taurus. And then his sixth house six, is where his moon in Virgo is. His moon in Virgo is in his sixth house, from what I can tell. I'm not good at this. And then his 12th house, his is that his North Node in Pisces? North Node is in Pisces, retrograde in the 12th house. What does the 12th house in Pisces mean? Let's take a look. A retrograde, no, wait. The 12th house associated with Pisces focuses on dreams, intuition, the unseen, making this a period of time to explore the depths of one's emotions and past. I didn't put Mercury retrograde. I said it. Wait, what did I ask? Pisces retrograde in the 12th house. Let me see something. All right. I'm not going to pretend like I know none of this, but I am fascinated. I think his chart needs to be studied and dissected. Charm. Oh no, it's North Node in Pisces. Retrograde. So interesting enough, his North Node in Pisces, I'm wondering if he ever worked on any of this. A North Node in Pisces, even if retrograde, suggests a focus on spiritual growth, intuition, which I believe he had intuition. I just think he used it poorly, and compassion. It encourages individuals to embrace their creative side, which he did, connect with their emotions, which he did not, and find solace in the realms of dreams and imagination. This placement also highlights the importance of self care and healing, as well as the need to connect with one's inner wisdom. He should have gone on some weird journal of spiritual exploration and deepening and understanding the mystical and intuitive side. And he's a Scorpio. And I think out of anyone, Scorpios or Pisces, and he has Pisces in the North Node, are the most mystical people to me. Creative expression that he has. This placement encourages them to tap into their artistic talents and express their emotions. Now, that he did in overdrive. Emotional intelligence. Pisces is a water sign, and the North Node in Pisces emphasized the importance of emotional awareness, empathy, and compassion for others and oneself. Now, that he liked. He did not, he lacked that. He lacked emotional intelligence. But now we have to ask why. Self care and healing. The emphasis on Pisces' emotional realm suggests a need for self care and healing from past wounds. He never got the training that required healing, and that's sad. The North Node in Pisces calls for a trust in one's intuition and a willingness to surrender to the unknown, allowing for a more fluid and intuitive approach to your life. There you go. He definitely did not exercise the highest vibration of Pisces in the North Node. So something blocked that from happening. And I think what childhood trauma could block the need for emotional awareness of self, let alone caring for others. But is there just a mental illness? Because if you just have a mental illness, like, can you get there, Charm? If you think seriously, I don't think he's ever been diagnosed, but if you've seriously been diagnosed, there are just things that could be impossible to get to the core place of. I mean, we all have a form of mental illness. I honestly believe that. Um, but the willingness to never want to change, and maybe that's because at some point he had reached an emperor's level in his mind. So maybe with his mental illness, with his charting the way it is, he desired to get to that creative artist place. So he did get there through the Pisces, um, North Node in Pisces. He got to his creative place. He never got, he didn't bring his soul with him. And that's what's missing in this man. This man has no soul, which is why he can be easily called the devil. Easily. So, sometimes in my world, and you guys might have seen something very similar in Sinners, but it was like so graphic, right? But in my world, and I believe it's the Mexican community, like you put a blanket over your baby so the soul doesn't get snatched. And when I first arrived in California, the type of blanket that they use, it's so thick. Like if a demon doesn't catch the soul, then the heat will. But it's their belief system, and I understand it. Not now. I had been understood that someone's soul can get snatched. We now know our souls can get snatched in sex, right? There's this whole big thing about bumping the elbows. Okay, so don't bump nobody's elbows because apparently they can take your soul. Dead ass. But I think the trick is they have to ask you. They're like, hey, let's bump this way. Be like, bitch, get the fuck away from me. That's some shadow shit, and I'm not doing that. Oh, he has Mercury right on his sun in Scorpio. So he's able to focus all his thoughts, Mercury's communication, and action on the dark side of Scorpio. All the water signs can be addictive signs. Yeah. And I know, for me personally, I know a lot of Pisces that are addictive. Wendy Williams is a Cancer, addictive. So I do know Cancers that are addictive to liquor. And I think liquor is the gateway to drugs. That's, it is what it is. Okay. So India Adams says she may have found something. I can find only one among many charts out there for him with an actual birth time, if true. We don't know. Sun in Scorpio, ascendant in Capricorn, moon in Virgo. All right. Oh, no. Thank you for checking that. Hi, Millicent. Hi, Demetra. The problem is that he is a debilitated Scorpio, which is vengeful, dark, brutal, sexual. He is the classic example of a debilitated Scorpio sun. And instead of using the word debilitated, that's the classic example of the shadow side of Scorpio. And the shadow side is motherfucking ugly. And so what y'all are seeing is what Charm is saying is debilitated. And I agree. And it's the other side of the sun, right? The dark side. So there are people out there that move with the dark side and they don't know how, without therapy, like, but in his case, something went wrong when he was a child. And so if it's not caught, then we have an adult that's running out here in this world looking for his creative, artistic, and he was very aggressive with it. I don't like that. So, oh, Charm, my podcast. Oh, next Friday on my Charm World channel. Finally, good. I'm going to take a look at Diddy's chart. I will be doing a show once a week on Thursdays after that. So give us where, when, what time, and we will tune in. Please. Oh, Millicent wants to know if you have an IG account, but I think you did answer her. IG. Here it is. No, wait. At Charm World. And everybody go follow Charm because I want a whole host of, hi, Carmela. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Wendy. I did not ignore any of you guys. Hi, how you doing? I want all the metaphysical people to stick together. Because if we ain't out here sticking together, these mofos like Sean John is going to ride this pony. We're not going to let it happen. So follow at Charm World. All right. All right, let's take a look at some videos. And in no perfect order, okay?
Drug dealer who attended these events also described them as chaotic gatherings, where well-known rappers and celebrities engaged in open sexual acts while under the influence. He characterized the atmosphere as a freak show, expressing that the shocking behavior of the participants led him to lose respect for many public figures he once admired. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod claimed to have produced 9 tracks on Diddy's recent album, The Love Album, Off the Grid, but was only compensated with $21,000 during the 13 months he spent living in Diddy's house while working on the project.
What a little bitch. So, Demetra, are you a Scorpio, though? Or you have the same birthday, and you're addicted to food? Food is in relationship to childhood trauma. So, 1, do you have childhood trauma? And 2, I'm not going to take the food addiction from you, but can you change the quality of the food that you're eating? So, I have a little bit of a food addiction. But I know that I was overeating to be less attractive to men. Like, I didn't really want men looking at me. And so I figured if I gain weight, they wouldn't look at me. And it actually did work. It worked, but it took away my health. So what I've learned to do is feed the addiction anyway, but feed it quality foods. And then within 6 months, the weight had gone down because I didn't even stop the quantity. I just changed the quality. And within 6 months, my weight had gone down, my stomach had gone down. And by the time I looked up again, I had lost enough weight to appreciate the changes that I was making. So I'm not going to stop you from overeating because you probably need a counselor to get to the core of it, but you can change what you put on your plate. And I don't know what your favorite thing is, but if you give your plate 3 forms of vegetables and a piece of meat, and as much vegetables as you want, you're still feeding the monster, but the monster doesn't get to have foods that can compromise your kidney, your liver, your cells. It won't give you diabetes. Like, you won't feed the other parts of you that could be damaging if you overeat. What do you think? It's just something I did for myself. And notice I'm not even asking you to exercise yet, but exercise could be absolutely necessary. But I am going to start my videos again, and I'm going to do some really easy exercises that can actually change your life if you do it every day. So we want to get rid of this part and take care of some back issues. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I never get up in time to do it. But I'm going to get there. That'll be the next thing. But I'm not even asking you to exercise yet. But exercise is a component of weight loss. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. Walking is the key. You don't have to lift a weight. You don't have to treadmill your ass. I hate that shit. You don't need to go on a bicycle. You just need to walk, everyone. It's one of God's perfect exercises. So, there you have it. Hope I helped.
Did you buy drugs? Yes. Who did you buy drugs for? Mr. Combs. What did you buy drugs with? My money. How would you reimburse for your money or whatever like that? Through Bad Boy Entertainment.
Now, I don't know who Gene is talking to in this video. I also don't know if Gene is going to testify. I think if you're in a courtroom, you can't testify. Is that true? So I don't know if Gene is testifying. Gene may have been one of those people that talk too much, that they can't use his testimony, which is really sad. However, Gene, much like Jaguar Wright, has been angelically protected. So God bless Gene. But if any of these drugs, which I don't know if they've established yet, if any of these drugs were brought with his bad boy's credit card, that's RICO. With his business credit card, that's RICO.
As a former prosecutor, specifically a Special Victims Unit prosecutor, I'm going to break down what is RICO and the racketeering conspiracy charge that Diddy is currently facing. RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. When most people think about here at RICO, they think about mob bosses and mafia leaders, and that's correct. The act was created by the federal government to be able to prosecute the heads of mafias and organized crime leaders, because they were the ones up until then that were directing people underneath them to commit illegal acts. The
Right.
people that were underneath them, they're the ones that are actually getting their hands dirty. They're the ones that are
Right.
actually pulling the trigger or doing
Right.
whatever else that they were doing. And this act provides a way for the person at the top who is orchestrating all of that, for that person to be held accountable. And
Right.
in our case, we're talking about Diddy, of course. Sean Combs is charged with racketeering conspiracy, and that makes a big difference in terms of what the government actually has to prove. To convict under racketeering conspiracy, the government has to prove three key elements. The first one is that an enterprise existed that affected interstate commerce. And interstate commerce, you mean across state lines. We know what that is. As far as an enterprise is concerned, an enterprise can be an actual business or like a legitimate company. It can be a gang. It can be a motorcycle club. It could be the Girl Scouts. It could be any type of group, a collective of people that are working together for a common purpose. And in this case, we all know that Sean Combs is the owner of Bad Boy Records, which is a very, very well-known enterprise.
Yeah.
Second, that the defendant knowingly and willingly agreed to the objectives of the enterprise. And we're talking in a racketeering context. So we're talking about enterprises that they could be legit organizations, they could be illegal organizations, but they are committing illegal activity. They are committing crimes. So in this case, Sean Combs knowingly and willingly agreeing to sex trafficking. We're just going to keep it simple for now. Sex
Okay.
trafficking. And lastly, that those activities and objectives of the enterprise involved two or more racketeering activities. RICO contains a list of what is defined as racketeering activity. And in looking at this list under sex and human trafficking, they have transportation for prostitution is something that could be applicable in this case, as well as coercion and enticement for illegal sexual activity. That's really where I feel that Cassie's testimony comes in as the most relevant. So we've only had 1 week so far of testimony in P. Diddy's case, and I see a lot of comments online where people are jumping to conclusions that Diddy's going to be acquitted and the government isn't going to be able to prove their case. They're focusing too much on the DV. Where is the RICO?
It's there.
Hold on, you guys.
Right.
Okay, this is expected to be a 6 to 8 week long trial. And so far, I think on the prosecution side, they've called 4 witnesses. It might have been 5, but we've had one major witness so far, which was Cassie, and her testimony took several days. That's just one major witness. There's more to come. In order to prove RICO and racketeering, the government has to establish that there was a pattern, okay? So they're not just hanging their whole case on Cassie's experience and Cassie's testimony. No, there's definitely more to come. And the reason why I'm so sure that there's a lot more to come is when it comes to federal prosecution, the feds don't play. They don't charge unless they know they're going to get you. Pretty much guaranteed. I can't remember exactly what their conviction rate is, but it's super high. It's nearly 100% because the government really, really will take its time to build an ironclad case against you. And at this point, because it's so early in the trial, I think that we're going to see a lot more really, really damning evidence. Let's see what week 2 is like.
Everybody, please go follow Ty_Lowry, Lowry. I mean, she doesn't need my promotion, but you know, I like an educated person in the arena where I don't know enough. Like, that's what I like. So go follow her. Maybe she can help you all understand racketeering. And to be honest with you, there are some forms of kidnapping in Cassie's testimony, right? Because she went to leave and he went to drag her back, and she went to go leave a sex operation and he went to go drag her back. That's kidnapping. And then in Capricorn Clark's testimony today, she was kidnapped for like 5 days. What I didn't get out of that was, somebody help me here. She was kidnapped for 5 days straight, but did she get to go home? Something about that was left out. I was a little confused by that. Oh, and Dawn too, when he locked her in that car for hours. How do you get locked in a car for hours? Can I tell you guys a secret? Once I was on a date, right? And I sat in the front seat and I went into a man's older type car, and the lock, old, not electric, the lock, like to lock the car, there was no lock. So technically I couldn't get out the car. So I never panic, right? Ever. But I just looked at him. I don't know how if I tell you all the shit that I've gone through, y'all wouldn't believe me. So I just kind of looked at him and I said, how come there's no lock on the right here? There's no, like, if I wanted to get out, can I get out? And he said, oh yeah. And he's driving, right? And I was like, oh, prove it. And he was like, no. And so he pulled over and he showed me how to get out. And I got out and I never went back in. I was like, I don't feel safe getting back in your car. Y'all have no idea what I've survived. Like, no one knows. Like, no one. But I'm telling you, God is there. God is there all the time. God is good. God is good all the time. All the time. I know I said it wrong, but whatever, whatever. Great prescriptions about how to change habits with. Oh, thank you, Indiana. Oh, it is a good prescription. And what a good word to use. Great prescription about how to change habits with food, changing quality. Keep the quantity. Eat all the fuck you want. And use volume tracks to feel satisfied and not deprived. That's how I lost weight. I mean, I'm not a doctor, right? I'm an intuitive person. So if I'm helping you, I gotta figure out how to help me too. So first thing I do is ask God. That's the first thing I do. Is like, I'm tired. Like, whoever has a food addiction, don't you get tired of eating? Don't you get to that point where one more Big Mac and you hate it, but you finish the whole Big Mac, but you can't stand what's happening here? No one has that experience with your food addiction. That's what happens. You eat and eat and eat until, mm, mm, mm. And in my case, I was trying to stop men from looking at me. Men are very drawn to me, but now I know they're drawn to my spiritual side. So they see this light, but they lust instead of light. And I can't stand lust. Because I know lust. I know what lust looks like. It looks like this. That's what it looks like. Fuck y'all. So Jean was talking about the very first assistant that testified and got immunity. The male assistant. Oh, that's what he was talking about?
Did you buy drugs? Yes. Who did you buy drugs for? Mr. Combs. What did you buy drugs with? My money. How would you reimburse for your money or whatever like that? Through Bad Boy Entertainment.
RICO. RICO. We got RICO. I got to do these videos. RICO 1, RICO 2, RICO 3, RICO 4. That's how the videos are going to come out. RICO's all over this case from the first few testimonies.
As a former prosecutor.
All right. Moving on. $3.8.
Why he's in jail, because he been doing this for 25 years. There's been no consequences for him. So he probably woke up out of that, because he's like withdrawing and stuff from all of, he takes so much stuff. He probably woke up in that cell, don't know why he's there, bro. So he said it on the video. I can't even, he said, I watch TV, but I can't watch too much of that because I can't believe this is happening. He said that. So Diddy's confused. He in that cell confused. He on suicide watch, right?
Being a high profile person like that, that's automatic. Certain things that people don't really understand and realize is that certain things is automatic. When they put you in involuntary protective custody to get you away from all the other inmates because you're high profile, put you on suicide watch because you're high profile. They separate you from other people. So that's basically what it is. I do not think that he does not understand why he's there.
That nigga knew why he was there. Oh, you're welcome, Charm. Yeah, we have to, this isn't Charm's. This isn't Charm. Sorry, Charm. This isn't Sherelle's world, right? We're not going on full-blown ignorance. We're not even going on opinion, motherfuckers. Like, we are intuitive people, and we're going to figure out intuitively what the hell is going on. But we are not based in this show on no fucking opinionated ignorance. This is not Sherelle's world. okay? Because people over there, Perry is a bitch. And I can't stand it. I can't stand how ugly he is being and how insistent. How insistent. And they have people on their channel trying to help Perry get to a better place, but he can't. You're just Diddy 2.0 without the sex charges. You're the same goddamn person. That's why you can appreciate and talk so bad. I don't want to say RICO. Sherelle says it too. Sherelle's a little two-faced. I feel like the two of them are being paid off by Diddy's PR team. Oh, child. Yes, we got standards in these spiritual streets. Yes, you better come with standards, or guess what? You can go over to Sherelle's world. That's what you can do. But over here, listen, I'm not your bully. I will not be your bully. I'm asking everyone to tap in. Tap in to your personal childhood traumas. Tap in to your relationships, especially if you're dealing with a Black man. I'm asking y'all to understand that Cassie got it extremely. And you don't have to get it that extreme to understand the mental abuse, let alone the physical abuse. You don't have to get it that bad. Nobody ever stomped me in my fucking head. And yet, my heart bleeds for someone that said out of their own mouth, this is what happened to me. This is not third party. Everybody else is third party. Everybody else is telling testimony. They witness third party, like they witness. But be the person. Cassie said, this is what happened to me. And we're going to look at that woman and go, man, you must have wanted, because I would have left. No, you wouldn't have. None of you would have left. I already know it. We've all been through it. None of you would have left. Trust. Half the times the men leave y'all. Because somebody else comes along and they start cheating. And that's when you finally leave. And you don't have to leave, which we've talked about this in my readings. You don't have to leave because somebody cheated. You have to learn to leave because you are not being treated well. That's the goalpost. The goalpost is simple. You are not being treated well. Leave. All right, I'm over myself. Thank you, Noel. You wouldn't have left because it's not about you. They should listen instead of judge. And the victim blaming is shocking. I'm not that shocked because remember that 13-year-old girl that got peed on by R. Kelly? Well, one day she grew up and she was at the second trial and she gave her testimony. And part of her testimony is what put him in jail. Because y'all didn't want to believe a little 13-year-old. A 13-year-old. Y'all just wanted to blame the parents. Well, the parents put in that position. Okay. Look at Quiet on Set. Parents put their children in bad positions. You're absolutely right. And no one deserves to be a victim. I guess I'm the crazy one. No, not you guys. You guys are not crazy. We're just the crazy ones in a crazy intuitive world. Thank God. Thank God there's a side in this YouTube streets that can get together and talk like sensibly. You know what I mean? Like, thank God we have each other. I would think. All right. The allegations against SC, oh, okay, was increased visibility, led to a decrease in support and potential protection that he may have previously enjoyed. People with power of a different kind pulled the plug on SC. Huh. All right. Millicent goes, we've all overstayed in a situation where we should have left at the first red flag. I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm guilty of that too. Yeah. They wouldn't have left. It's not a thing. Thank you. Exactly. Actually, Indiana, this is a little above my head. The allegations against SC with increased visibility led to a decrease in support and potential protection against Cassie that he may have previously enjoyed. People with power of a different kind pulled the plug on SC. Is that like the record executives? So true, Millicent. Noel says, I've overstayed. I've overstayed. Noel's overstayed. Millicent's overstayed. We've overstayed. I'll be damned if I get to tell my story and somebody says, when I was a kid, and when I say kid, I'm saying in my 20s, and I was ready to leave my husband. And I had a cousin dying of AIDS. Story time. It's a true story. I had a cousin dying of AIDS. And they found something out that they didn't like. And they called me up and they said, is it true? And I said, yes. One thing I don't do is I don't lie. I said, yes. And they said, okay, family meeting. So they called a family meeting to announce to me that they were going to kill my ex-husband. True story. And my cousin, who was dying of AIDS, he was the one that he was going to volunteer to do it. He was like, I'm dying anyway. I don't know how he felt like, what if he lived? He's like, I'm dying anyway. I'm taking him out. And I hated my ex-husband. At the time, it was valid, real anger. It was palpable. And I hated him. And I said to everyone in the family fucking meeting, don't touch him. Leave him alone. And I said, that is my child's father. You know what my aunt said to me? You love him. That's why you don't want us to touch him. You still love him. Well, first of all, my God, it's okay to love someone that you have to separate from. Let's just start there. It's okay. Second of all, I didn't know I was a spiritual person in my 20s. I knew anger. I knew childhood abuse from my mother. I knew that the family cared, but did you really care? My mother was beating me. Like, what's happening here? I also knew that you tend to carry something with you in your relationships that are similar. And ironically, I was 16 when I met my later husband, and he saw how badly my mother used to beat me. And somehow or another, it was like, well, I'm just going to do it too. I don't know. And so I didn't understand spirituality in my 20s, which is when they wanted to kill him. But I knew morals. I knew morals. And I'm telling you, if I would have authorized that hit, there's no way I could be who I am today. I don't know about everybody else. I know I couldn't be who I am today. I probably would have been an extremely ugly person if I would have authorized that hit. And my son would have grew up without a father. And by the way, he paid really good child support. So who the fuck was going to end that shit? And I wasn't going to be beholden to a corrupt family. Well, we took care of him for you. No, you dumbasses. And it turns out I don't even like them now. Well, there's a couple in my family that I like, but they're two tops. All right. One Deep says, I've overstayed, but I bet I won't ever go through that again. 100, I've been with the man for 5 years now. Oh, I love a happy ending. And that goes for relationship, friendships, job. Boom. Aww. All right. Let's look at another video. I think the last one was 3.8. Do you guys like the videos? You guys aren't actually telling me if you like the videos, and I need to know.
Know that a drug dealer had his entire operation destroyed by Diddy for refusing to provide underage girls? In a Colorado prison, an imprisoned member of the Sinaloa cartel named Alfredo P. Gonzalez filed a lawsuit against Diddy. Years ago, Diddy had asked him to use his drug trafficking network to supply minors for private parties hosted by the music mogul. Gonzalez believed this not only crossed an ethical line, but also posed unpredictable risks, so he firmly refused. Diddy's expression reportedly changed from eager anticipation to cold fury, and he warned Gonzalez that he would regret his decision. From that day forward, several key contacts within the cartel suddenly stopped trusting him, and some crucial drug shipments were accidentally intercepted at the last moment. Gonzalez gradually realized that his crime network in New York was collapsing. He claimed that Diddy used his significant influence on New York streets to heavily damage his business, systematically destroying his drug trafficking foundation. However, the U.S. District Court quickly dismissed the case since his accusations were based on illegal activities that are not protected by U.S. law. But even from this, it's clear that Diddy's power might be far greater than anyone imagined.
He disrupted a drug cartel business, and then the drug cartel was able to sue. This is bizarro world. It's just so bizarre. All right. I'm over this.
Frank Lucas is probably one of the first Hollywood systemic drug dealers that we knew about. And Frank Lucas had an incredible system of drugs. But you say, why are you talking about Frank Lucas and drug dealing right now in a conversation like that? Because Frank Lucas's driver was Melvin Combs. Melvin Combs, who was murdered at 33, left a 2-year-old son behind. And Melvin Combs was a drug dealer. Melvin Combs, Frank Lucas's driver, and Frank Lucas was the driver of Bumpy Johnson. And Bumpy Johnson also was an organized gangster. You said, man, you're taking this conversation down. This is the barbershop. But here's why history is important, because Melvin Combs at 33 left a 2-year-old son, Sean Combs. And when you ask yourself the question of how in the world could Sean Combs move to where he is right now, you should have compassion if you only knew the history.
All right, I don't know about compassion, nigga. These men, they always protect them. You should have compassion if you already know the history. So fuck up. They got compassion for that shit. Fuck you. This might be the last one.
You know, like they think this, oh, this is just a domestic violence. This is a sexual thing. You understand? They don't understand the law. And when you are paying prostitutes to come across state lines to have a freak off with your girl, that's against the law.
Yeah, she also testified that she was in a relationship with Kid Cudi, but she was still having freak offs with Diddy. She said that her and Diddy was on a break and Diddy was still making her have freak offs.
My man, she still had to supply her addiction. And who was going to give her the drugs for her addiction? She's taking cocaine. She's taking opiates. She's taking mollies. She's taking alcohol. She's smoking weed. So now she got an addiction. Even though he's not with him, she still gotta supply her habit. So now I do the freak off because I want to supply my addiction. I know I can get some money out of it too.
Okay, thank you, Cherie Love. Thank you, Noel. Thank you, Cherie Love. I appreciate y'all saying something. If the videos get out of hand or boring, just let me know. Compassion. What about he should have had compassion and mind not to treat a lady like a doormat? Child. What about compassion for Cassie? Because, all right. I think we kind of know the answer. Is Diddy a drug dealer? But just let's see what Spirit has to say about it. Please, God, talk to me about Diddy. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. Diddy's your child. He's your love. He is your beloved, Father God. Please authorize me to see and say what you would like for me to say and see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen. Amen. I say. Also, talking about the prescription for eating, I like to give myself, although I don't need it anymore, I like to give myself a cheat day where I can eat anything the fuck I want. And I like pizza, so I will order pizza. I love to make deli sandwiches, so I would eat a deli sandwich. So eat a cheat day where you could get all that stuff out your system. All right. And then I don't know if you're a dessert type of person, unless you have diabetes, but give yourself a little something sweet to eat or salty, like either or, not both. Okay. I'm done with my prescription. The doctor is taking her coat off. Let's lower the stage. Is Diddy a drug dealer? The first thing I'm getting is the Ace of Swords. I don't think he meant to look like a drug dealer. And I think that is the one thing that would have bothered him. To be labeled a drug dealer is the one thing that would have bothered him. Not murder, not guns, not beating people up, women up. He would have not liked to have been called a drug dealer. And I think because his dad somehow was labeled as that. They said his dad was an informant. But I think somewhere along the way, his dad was a drug dealer. And I believe when he died, he left a lot of money behind. And I believe it was drug money. I do get the star card. And I think him being a star superseded his looking like a drug dealer. You know, guys, J-Lo keeps coming to mind. How could J-Lo had not been on drugs? They said the drugs, from what I understand, he became a drug addict in 2008. When was he around J-Lo? But how could she not have had drug nights with Sean? Because what I know about drug addicts, alcoholics, one, if there's a need, there's a need. But if they could do it with a partner, like, that's why they go to bars, right? Because that's partnering up. They don't like to drink alone necessarily. I know one guy that used to drink alone because he caught a DUI. That's a good point. I don't think he tried that on J-Lo. He needed someone young, not famous and impressionable. Okay. All right. Someone's not a Leo. Okay, let's lower the stage again. So there might have been something in his upbringing where he might have been a drug user from his youth. It looks like something that was here at 16 or 15 or something. Oh, he was in the 90s, so he hadn't become a drug dealer until 2008. Okay, thank you. So this card tells me that yes, he's a drug dealer, but crosses his fingers and puts it behind his back. So the stardom hid the fact that he was a drug dealer. And he might have did some drug activity using his mother or a woman, a mother, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces woman. There's a sacrifice that he felt like, I feel like he felt like he was saying, like, I don't believe he believed he was a drug dealer. I feel like he was saying, I'll get the best drugs. So I feel like he was a drug dealer by way of the wealthy. And he's like, I can get the best drugs. So I don't know if he was a drug dealer, like selling the drugs for money per se. Somewhere in my spirit, I want to say that sometimes he did sell it for money. But I think the drugs was part of a tool and an exchange of services, and not just I feel like if he had a meeting and he needed somebody to work with an artist, then there was an exchange of drugs. I feel like if he had a meeting and somebody needed to be offed, then there was an exchange of drugs. Because I feel like he was a drug dealer for his benefit. And it wasn't necessarily beneficial for him to gain money. Unless he needed quick cash, that would be different. Then he would be like, give me $10,000. I already got the drugs at my house, right? I'll tell my assistant to bring it over to you. I think his drug dealing was in exchange for services for high profile people. I think even as of recently, when he won an award just before Cassie's case came out, that was something that he might have paid off an executive for the award, so that he would be like artist of the year or something. So I believe he is a drug dealer by way of very, 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 very powerful people. And I feel like they seal the deal with a good supply of drugs. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's lower the stage. I get the Empress card. His mother's in here somewhere. Why would how could his mother be involved in the drug dealing? Why is his mother involved in the drug dealing? Do you think some drug packages was sent over to his mama's house? And then people would go to his mama to pick up some drugs? Especially high profile people that wouldn't people would connect the dots if they came to Diddy's house and was seen leaving a package, but nobody was watching his mama's house. What do you guys think? His mom is knee deep in this. And I'm getting her under abundance, fertility, like Big Mama is what I'm getting. Was Big Mama a drug dealer? Oh my God. Did you, Millicent? Millicent said when you started talking, I instantly thought of his mama. Could they have had a whole separate operation going beyond the freak offs? His mom is definitely in this shit. Fulfillment. Like, did she fulfill the orders and they would come there? Maybe their assistants of high profile people would come pick up what they needed, and so nobody ever suspected. Wow. I get the Chariot. And I also get the Lovers. And these cards are kind of identical because I see this twin thing going on. The Lovers is about a choice. Maybe it was his mother because I'm looking at this and this looks like kidneys to me. And it looks like an IV wrapped around the kidneys. And that just reminds me of him and his mom doing IVs together. The sun is out. So I actually thought this was the sun card, which is a resounding yes. But it's a half a sun, right? So I want to say the both of them are drug dealers. Oh, Lord. The both of them are drug dealers. Wow. Wow. I wonder if that time when Gene Deal said he slapped his mama, could it have been because they were business partners and she might have fucked up something really bad in terms of her responsibility in this drug dealing operation? But the mama did. See, here's the mama's knee deep in this, guys. Knee deep. The answer to your question is yes, he's a drug dealer. But like anything else, he might have put the operation in his mama's hands, which is what Mace might have been talking about. Wow. All right, let me just put, oh, resounding yes, it's done. He's a drug dealer, but so is his mama. His mama's a drug dealer too. God, they have no morals. Damn. There is somebody that's going to tell that story. Somebody's going to throw his mama under the bus. This is him. He's going to be shocked. There's going to be somebody with a fire mouth. A fire mouth. It could be an Aries, but I'm really getting someone that is going to take charge and deal with this, their own personal lack of morals, and is going to clear the air for himself, and then take it there. I wonder if any celebrities have died. Has any celebrities died through the use of Sean John's drugs? Yeah. So far, I'm getting 2 men have died. 2 men have, this is a sick card, so have overdosed because of Sean John. Oh, wait, guys, wait. Why didn't anybody remind me? This is an entertainment show, and it's all for shits and giggles, so don't take me seriously. Diddy. Let me take this down, Tom. Thank you for that. He should have taken the plea deal. He should have taken the plea deal. His arrogance would not let him take the plea deal. This is weird. She been looking thin, yes. I think she's looking thin because she knows she's next. Yes, high-profile people go to mama's house. Oh, his dad was an Aries? Well, clearly he's taken after his dad, but this is somebody else. So it's a resounding yes, he's a drug dealer. And it's either an Aries. If it's not an Aries, fire. But also, it's somebody that would have been a wimp. Somebody that would have been a wimp. Would that be Farnsworth Bentley? Oh, so much pain right now. Somebody that would have been a wimp. Michael K. Williams. I could check it, Tom. Was Michael K. Williams a victim of Diddy's drug dealing? Yes. Absolutely. It didn't even hesitate. There's so much deception about him dying of drugs, but I'm getting a resounding yes. This is going to heaven, child. Yes. Who's Dapper Dude? Who's that? Give me something else to go on besides Dapper Dude. Who's Dapper Dude? I kind of remember. It wasn't Dapper Dan, was it? Because I thought he was still living. All right. Give me some more questions. I got a few cards left. Which one is Michael K. Williams? Is he the one with the light-skinned fella? With did he pay on a cop show or something? Is that him? I don't know these people. All right. I don't want to pick these cards up. So any more questions, anyone? Oh, he was an actor. Oh, yeah, I do know. He was a light-skinned fella, right? Or caramel complected, had curly hair. No, I remember. He was the light-skinned one with, he played an actor. Did he play a cop or something? I remember him. Why? Okay, I'm over it. Dark skin? Oh, the dark skin guy from The Wire. Oh, I remember him. Where is he from originally? I felt like I met him before he became a famous actor. I feel like he was on drugs anyway at some point. Yeah. I remember now. Thank you guys. Hi, Reggie Guy 400. I remember now. No, they're saying yes. So I only went by the name. I don't need to know the person. They're saying yes. I remember. It was a shock. He was in Lovecraft. He's a great actor. I feel like I met him on Staten Island. Like, did he live on Staten Island for a little bit? I did love him as an actor, though. All right. Wait a minute. Why did he get a notice in the Staten Island Advance? Did he live in Staten Island for a little bit? Because I feel like I met him. All right. I'll never know now. All right. I don't know why he got an article sent out in advance, but it is what it is. Prince was, I should do that one very separate, but let's just, he was responsible for Prince, It was a deal gone bad. This literally is a deal gone bad. And it was over money at his house. So yes, he was responsible for Prince. Let me get this out. Hold on. Yes, Sherelle's World. He was responsible for Prince. Period. He had been on drugs on and off for years. Puffy mom is 85. She about to go to jail, and her trial is not going to last 6 weeks. I promise you. All right, guys. Ooh, ciao. That was a good question. I was afraid too many cards were out to get it answered, but it was a direct death. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Might have been an ordered hit, though. Remember I said he was also a hitman, Diddy? So it might have been ordered. It might have been ordered to take him out by the industry executive, whoever that is, and Prince's label. All right, guys. And the MO is there. If you think of the way that they got into Kid Cudi's house, that's how they got into Prince's house. Same way. Probably the same people, guys. Michael Jackson, let's see. Yes. Yes, Melissa. Yes. Yes. He was also, but how could he have done it? He was also responsible for Michael Jackson, but there's a conflict here. There was a conflict in the order. He definitely didn't want Michael Jackson's death to come back to him. That was probably the one time he had morals. I hate to say this, but I know the doctor did it. But I know the doctor went to jail, but a woman did it. A woman did this. A woman took a woman took him out. So I think it may have come down to someone in the home, a nurse was paid off or something. Someone who did a lot of jobs inside the home, and she was trusted. But a woman participated in taking Michael Jackson out. Subsequently, whoever this woman is, I would question if she's still alive, to be honest with you, and if there was a fire at her home. And I would question both. Like, there could have been a fire at her home to make sure that she never speaks up, and or I question whether or not she is living to this day. Aaron Carter? That's a stretch. Oh my God, why Aaron Carter? Lord, Diddy was just a hitman. Magic. Money. Did he drown? Did Aaron Carter drown? Was he near water? When I know he overdosed. I believe he overdosed. But was he near water? Was he a Whitney Houston? Oh. By the time Whitney came along, the methodology had changed. By the time Whitney came along, the methodology had changed. And so that was also a Diddy hit, allegedly, and in my opinion. But do you know if Aaron was near water? Was he near? Wait, what? Aaron died in a bathtub? I can't believe this shit. Hold on. Fuck. Wait. All right, well, Diddy had a whole hitman operation going on, guys. A whole hitman. Wow. Also, Aaron, by the way, was very metaphysical. His need to get off of drugs was a bigger problem, but he was really a metaphysical. He was such a sweetheart. But this was about money. Was he about to sue somebody? Because I don't think they owed him that much, but it's just that these people don't like for a low-level drug addict to tell them what to do. And Aaron was there, and he was like, give me my fucking money, or else I'll sue you, something like that. No. Ray J was with Whitney, but Diddy ordered the hit. Two different things. We're talking about who is under this operation. Just like I said, for Prince, a woman did it. The doctor was blamed, but a woman did this. Ray J might have been the last one with Whitney. However, this was ordered because Diddy himself was a huge hitman. Diddy was the mob boss, people. He's the mob boss. Oh my God. Such a New York thing. Oh my God. I can't take it anymore. All right. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop. We got a lot of answers tonight. I respect all of this. Oh my God. You know what I want to see? If one person gets revealed that Diddy may have did something, either drugs, and somebody was unalived, then all of these people that we mentioned today There are some unknown people that we have known nothing about, by the way. Time is up, and what used to be contained, time is up. So, with all that being said, somebody's ready to bust and talk. Somebody wants to talk. Money's a big deal, though. Money. Oh, there's a man that's going to talk. There's a man that's going to talk. There's a man. And, the first part was an Aries man or a fire sign man. So, I don't know. Somebody's going to talk and nail that coffin. Oh, if we get one, we get them all. What's DODM? What is that? Cheryl's World? I don't know what that is. All right. All right. Let's get to the final outcome part of it. I have to tell you, that nigga's scary. He is terrifying. Best thing that could ever happen is that he wound up in jail. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. It stopped there. I swear to God, I'm done. I'm not trying to twirl this. Messiah. Oh, Messiah. Serving humanity. Remember, this might have been, in his mind, where's my thing? In his mind, he might have been serving humanity. You never know. Messiah. Redeemer or savior. He might have thought he was saving the industry. I'm not inside this man's head. His ego is big. What does that smell? I'm always smelling something in this damn house. Associated with embodiment of divine power and a mission to save humanity, tends to become obsessed with spiritual purpose, convinced that God needs him or her to do something. Look for a long-term desire to save people with the possibility of self-delusion in this regard. He never said it out loud. He never said, without me, nobody would be anything, unless I missed that part of it. But he could believe that everything he ever did was for somebody else's greater good. Oh, yeah, he God complex, right, Tanya? He is scary. Keep him off the streets. Exactly, Tanya. Yes. What's DODM? I don't know what that means. All right, guys. Thank you. I love you guys for helping me get through the psychic realm of this trial. We got a lot to do, guys. 6 weeks of this bullshit. Ugh, I got to get the horoscopes out the way. So I love you. Call me for your own personal reading. Please contact me for your own personal reading. Don't suffer. I'm here for you. So don't believe you ever have to suffer through anything. 213-458-7408. With my psychic readings, there are always solutions. So everyone leaves the reading feeling like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this. I love you guys. Take it easy. Bye. Like the video. Interesting. He squandered his creative / material spiritual advantage. I agree. Have a great night. Oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry. Thank you, Cheryl, for your contribution. And thank you, everyone, for your contributions tonight. Love you all. Take it easy. Bye.
of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare. She can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I'm sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.